Well, the law firm actually got its start in 1930. My father became an attorney after, in those days, you went only to law school 2 years. He went to a school called Mercer Beasley in Newark, which later changed its name to Newark Rutgers Law School, and then eventually Rutgers Law School. He opened a small office at 1060 Broad Street. It still exists at the south end of Broad Street in Newark. And he was the only member of his family. He had 6 siblings that went to actually college and law school. In those days, it was in the heart of the Depression, and believe it or not, you actually bartered. People didn't have the money to pay you for your legal services, and they might give you a turkey or a ham or a coat or whatever. It was because the money was very scarce. And he did whatever he could as a lawyer. Whatever came in the door, that's what he did. He was a general practitioner. He at one point, he joined with 2 other men, and the law firm became known as Mandelbaum Apostolicos and Pappas. And that existed in the 30s for about 5 or 6 years. And then one day they learned that Mr. Pappas was never admitted to practice law. He probably was a good lawyer, but he never went to law school. Anyway, the law firm broke up. I joined him in 1961 at Columbia Law School. I had every intention of working in the city when I graduated, but he prevailed on me to join him at 786 Broad Street in Newark. And he was primarily a family practitioner doing divorce work, and much to my dismay, when I joined him, I found out that he really had no work for me. And but the good fortune was that the building we were in on the corner of Broad and Market Street was known as the Lawyers Building, and it was the building had 95% occupied by attorneys. And in those days, people didn't look in the yellow sheets of the directory to find attorneys. They came down, if they needed an attorney, they came to this building and they looked at the directory board and picked out a name and went up to see that attorney. And fortunately, in those days, there were starters at the elevator. They were dressed in uniform. And the fellow, our starter, when I joined the law firm, was Joe Sullivan. And Joe knew me when I was a kid because my father on Saturday, to get out of the hair of my mother, used to take me down to the office on Saturday, and I'd play with the Annie machine or whatever little equipment there was in the office. So when Joe saw people looking at the directory board, he'd go up and say, "Can I help you?" And they'd say, "I need an attorney because I got injured, or I had a workman's comp case, or whatever the problem was." And he would send them up to me. And that's how I started.